a way to, it was to shame the gay community. It was a way to shame people. You have a virus that was created from a monkey. Come on,
Created in a
people.
lab. Come on. Lewis, would you like to introduce our bottom of the hour guest who's arrived and looking
I would
spunky?
love to. In fact, when Bruce was talking at the beginning of the show, Don said, our guest, he says, I might have the solution. Connect me with Bruce. So I'm going to connect you with Bruce right now,
All
Don.
right. I love being connected, man.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Don Milton. He's got some phenomenal information. He's got tools and ways that we can self heal and prepare ourselves for a better day. Let me introduce to him our friend Don Milton. And Don, welcome, and meet Bruce Poppy. You already know Robert Imbrielli.
Glad to meet you, Bruce, and see you guys.
Yes, sir. Pleasure of mine.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the show today.
Oh, cool. Thank you, Don. Good to see you.
So, would you like me to get started here?
Of course.
Okay, so I've been a full-time life coach since 2005. Had an interesting journey to get there. My main focus is assisting people with mental, emotional, spiritual health. And of course, that translates into usually improved physical health and all other aspects of your life, because I do believe life is an inside job. Lewis mentioned this morning that things come from God or simple, and I tend to resonate with that. So today, I'm going to tell folks about 4 techniques that meet that criteria. They're actually simple, effective. Anyone can do them starting today, if you like. No special equipment, no special facility, no financial investment. Just requires an investment of time and some consistency. So the first technique, and also I'm going to mention 3 books at the end that could be useful in the area of personal development. So the first technique is emotional freedom technique, or EFT. A lot of people have probably heard of that. It's a tapping technique where you focus on certain issues and certain emotions or physical pains within that event. And it's the basic EFT gets really good results. And when you work with skilled professionals, I'm constantly amazed at the kind of results you can get. I've actually sent Lewis links to 2 short videos that I created that teach you how to use basic EFT for anxiety, and you can use that one for any other negative emotion. Just replace that. When you watch the process, if you're not working on anxiety, just plug in any other emotion, and the process works the same. The other video shows you how to use basic EFT for headaches. And here again, if you don't have a headache, but you have other physical pain, you just use the same process for that. And Lewis can tell you, where you can access that and download it. If you decide to explore this EFT, then I suggest that you commit to 30 days, because on any of these techniques, you really need to do it enough to have an experience with it and decide whether or not you want to incorporate it into your life ongoing. So with EFT, but your basic commitment would be 15 to 20 minutes a day, and you can actually, while you're watching the video, you can actually start using it. And with EFT, the results can be pretty quick. I mean, you might have some results right away. It might take a few days, but it's not like a long-term deal. And what happens after you've been using it for maybe a week or so, it really, if you just watch the video 2 or 3 times and start using it, you get the hang of it, and you don't have to watch the video. You can just use it. And what you'll find is after using it a few days, for 15 or 20 minutes at a time, then you'll find yourself just using it throughout the day as stuff comes up. Like if you're, have some anxiety come up or some anger or disappointment or whatever, you just take a few minutes, go through the process, and the results happen. The next technique, which most of you have probably heard about and maybe many of you have used, is meditation. I think meditation, a lot of people that start it and quit feel like they're not doing it right. I want to tell you about a simple technique. If you've done it and quit, or if you've never done it, then I'd like you to try this and see how it works for you. Do it with no expectations, but on this one, you need to make a 60-day commitment because it's a little more subtle and it takes time to build up a bit. And what I would suggest on the meditation is that you start with 10 minutes a day for the first week, and then you bump it up 15 minutes a day each week until you get up to 30 minutes a day. And with the meditation, you really need to do it first thing in the morning before you interact with anyone or before you look at your phone or your computer. And you want to sit with your back straight. You don't want to do it lying down or in a recliner. You can either sit on the floor, cross-legged with your hands in your lap, or you can sit in a straight back chair with your hands flat on the floor. I mean, yeah, that'd be yoga, with your feet flat on the floor and your hands in your lap. And all you do is you set your timer. The first week, you do it for 10 minutes. You set your timer. You close your eyes. And you just focus on your breathing. You don't breathe any different. You don't breathe any special way. You just focus on your breathing. And your mind will start going off in all sorts of different directions. But all you do when you notice you're thinking about something else, you just go back to your breathing. And like I say, the meditation, you're probably going to not notice results as quick as you will with the tapping, but it is very subtle, and you just need to stay with it long enough to start noticing some results. And I would suggest that after you've been doing it for 30 days, that you stop for a couple of days and see if you notice a difference when you don't meditate. And if you have other people in the household, then let them know what you're doing so you won't be disturbed in the morning, and find yourself the same spot every day that you're going to use. And, of course, you're going to have to get up a little earlier to do it, particularly when you get up to where you're doing it 30 minutes a day. So it takes like I say, no money, but it does take a commitment of time and planning it out so that you get it done. The next technique is journaling. This one, there's all types of different journaling you can do depending on what you're dealing with in life. But this simple one, I would suggest that you focus on during the day activities and people that you find uplifting, give you energy, and are fun and easy to be around, people or events. And also the flip side of it, people and events that drag you down, that are annoying, and that you don't want to be around or don't want to do too much. The journaling you should do in the evening, and it usually takes 15 or 20 minutes. Just get you a notepad and write a page or two about what you've noticed in the day, how you're spending your time during the day. And what happens when you know you're going to be journaling in the evening is you'll be more conscious about what's going on in the day and how it's affecting your attitude in your life. That's one level of awareness. The other thing is when you sit down to write about it in the evening, it's going to be another level of awareness. Now, this particular technique, you can just commit to for 30 days because at the end of 30 days, you'll know whether or not you're getting any benefit and if you want to continue it. The last technique is really a no-brainer. I mean, this is something that you can do every day, regardless of whatever else, is a gratitude list. And here again, it's best to do it first thing in the morning, maybe after you meditate, and you want to write it down, maybe in the same book that you're doing your journal in, but you want to write 2 things each day that you're grateful for. And what happens, like I said, commit to 30 days on this one, and what happens is that it sort of shifts your mindset. if you start the day off with two things you're grateful for, then it just puts you in a better mindset, a better attitude. And after you have done this for 30 days, you'll notice you want to continue. So those are, four things that are very simple. The tapping, 15 or 20 minutes a day, journaling, 15 or 20 minutes a day, meditating, start off at 10, get up to 30, gratitude, hardly any time at all. So what I would suggest, and Bruce mentioned this morning, which is very critical, is to be consistent. So don't bite off more than you can chew. I mean, if you just want to start off with, say, 20 minutes a day, then my recommendation is that you start with EFT and do the gratitude. And then if you want to bump it up a little bit, add the journaling. If you want to bump it up more, add the meditating. Okay? So those are, they're very simple things, and they can all have profound results. Now, the 3 books that could be useful, one is Dark Side of the Light Chaser by Debbie Ford. This book, you may or may not be familiar with what they call the shadow work. I think in the Bible, there's a place where it says, before you worry about the splinter in your neighbor's eye, take the log out of your own. So this is kind of what the shadow work is about. We all have, like when we judge people or we judge things and we complain about something, that's projecting out. Generally, if we're doing that and we have a charge on it, that means that somewhere within us, we have that same type of program going on. So what happens when you do the shadow work is it sort of changes, you don't look at things as problems or aggravations. You start looking at them as opportunities to do some of your own healing. And this book is really a good one. It's fairly simple. She, shares a lot of information about her own journey and some stories. But then the most important thing is exercises throughout the book. So if you decide to use this book, I suggest that you commit to reading 15 pages a day. That'll probably take you about, 20 to 30 minutes. And when you come to an exercise, do the exercise before you continue the reading. The other book is Byron Katie. A lot of you have probably heard about this one, Loving What Is. Here again, another simple concept, but it can have profound results. Her basic concept is that when we argue with reality, we only lose 100% of the time. And what she means about arguing with reality is when we have thoughts that are different from what's really going on. And these thoughts usually involve shoulds or should nots. Jerry should be on time. Susie shouldn't be such a slob. Billy shouldn't play so many computer games. Should, or shouldn't. Shoulds or shouldn'ts are usually there. So in her book, she gives different examples and dialogues, but she has 4 basic questions that you ask yourself. You write them down, and it basically, through experience of doing this, maybe for a few weeks even, you start seeing how events do not have the power to cause any feeling, any emotion. It's not the event. You think about the event, and it gives you awareness of that. And, it helps you become less judgmental, and it allows you to see your role in situations. Now, a lot of people have when they first get involved in the Byron Katie work, and she talks about accepting reality, they think it means that if there's something that you don't like and you accept it, that you're approving of it, or you're acknowledging that it's okay and you don't want to change it. No, that's far from the truth. The point is, once you get your thinking in alignment with reality, that removes any negative emotions related to that situation. Because if you have a thought that something should be different than it is, then always you're going to have emotions. You're going to have anger, disappointment, anxiety. You're going to have all these negative emotions that impact you negatively. So once you accept reality, get your thinking in alignment with the situation, remove all those negative emotions, then the next question is, am I able and willing to do anything to change it? If you are, then take action. If you're not, then you just have to accept it. And if your action involves communication, then your communication is going to be a lot more effective once you removed all the negative emotions than it would be if you came in with anger, disappointment, anxiety. Because think about it, when you're on the other end and you're doing something that somebody else thinks you should be doing differently, and they come at you and they don't have to say it. You can feel it. You can feel the energy. If somebody's disappointed, upset, angry, whatever, then you immediately put up your defenses and the communication doesn't work so well. So, and same thing with this book. If you decide to use it, commit to reading 15 pages a day. When you get to the exercises, do the exercises, and you'll be surprised at what happens. The last book is one that I actually published several years ago at the urging of clients and friends. They said I should put all the stuff I know about and do in one place. And it was really a good thing. I enjoyed doing it. When I decided to write the book, I was really my intention was to just write about all the tools and techniques that I use in my coaching practice and how to do them and the benefits that you can get. But when I started to write it, I realized I really needed to share who I am and what I've been through, and why should you listen to this guy? So the first part of the book, really, my serious personal growth journey, spiritual growth journey, started in 1990. And so the book covers the period from 1990 to 2020, sharing my journey, basically the traumas that happened with me, relationships, financial, health, stuff we all deal with, how I dealt with them, what I learned. And the second part of the book, I go into detail about all the techniques that I use in my coaching practice, including the 4 that I talked about earlier, how you do them, how do you utilize them, and the benefits that you can expect from them. And then in the back of the book, there's I think 1 or 2 pages resource page, basically maybe 20 or 25 books out of the hundreds that I've read over the years that I feel like are pretty valuable for someone interested in personal development, and give you different perspectives on lots of different situations. So like people, and here's the deal that I've learned on personal growth. Like on this program that's being done today and other programs that you may have been on, you learn about lots of stuff. You get lots of information. I call that knowing about things. Knowing about things is right here. You got lots of information, lots of knowledge. Knowing something is here, where you've incorporated into your life, into your being, and you're actually living it. And knowing something requires effort. It requires investment, definitely in time and sometimes in money. I mean, I can guarantee you any of the people, Lewis, Robert, Bruce, any of the people that are doing this stuff have spent thousands of hours and tens of thousands of dollars learning what they learn. I know I certainly have. I'd say probably 20 to 25,000 hours and easily over $100,000. And, so when you get on programs like this and you're listening to people that have made that investment of time and money, they're basically culling it down to you to put some jewels that you can use in your life. So I would say that, pick out just one thing. If you could do more, that's fine. But one or more things that resonates with you from the program that you've been listening to all day, and do it. Take action, and you'll get some results. So, Robert, I believe that's all I have to say, unless you're Bruce or Lewis have any comments or questions.
You know, when you're doing a show and you mute yourself, that's not a good thing.
What's that?
No, it's fascinating. I mean, like I've been mentioning all day long, you know, no matter how we slice that pie, the things that we know we need to do to make a better life for us and our family and everybody around us, our community, humanity in general, are very simple things. And it's not rocket science. There's no, no magic, no silver bullet, no special sauce. It's just a matter of rolling up your sleeves and doing the work. And that's where, I'm focusing my efforts right now is like you said, there's a difference between the knowledge, and knowing, right? In the Bible, it talks about knowing your wife. That's kind of an intimate thing, a sexual. No, if I know my wife, many of you know my wife, but I know my wife, right? There's a difference, and it requires, some action and effort, and some other things to know somebody like that. But that